And I sit back and see the back and forth with you and Jason Whitlock. And we all know he's a piece of shit. And he's a coon, and he's burned every bridge in sports media, so that's why he does what he does. That's why he leans Fox. That's why every single day he's talking negatively about a black and brown person. But I don't think you realize that there's people that put you in that same category now. And that's what disappoints me, because I know you're not that dude. I've known you for over 20 years, bro. And I know that the Stephen A. I met in Philly in 04, 05 or 05, 06 would slap the shit out of this dude. The dude he sees today, the OG would slap him. I know you would, because you was too cool, too down to earth, not with the bullshit. But now you're with a lot of shit. And it's more disheartening than anything, because I wasn't trying to disrespect. I look up to you. But what you've been on is bullshit, bro. Plain and simple. You could debate about this, you could scream, you can cuss, I got you f***ed up, whatever it is, we see it. And when I say we, I'm talking about the former athletes that used to really confide and come holler at you. Like you used to be the go-to. But now we don't even know you, bro.
So that's Matt Barnes yesterday or the day before, chastising Stephen A. Smith for, man, you like Jason Whitlock. And we know Jason Whitlock is a POS. And I want to pick up from there today because it's important. And yesterday, I had a little fun with Matt Barnes, showing the hypocrisy and the stupidity of Matt Barnes. And we put together a little spoof video that made fun of Matt Barnes, and people have picked up on it and started talking about it and starting dissecting what points I was trying to make, what points I didn't make, whether it was funny or not. The thing was funny. I'm going to play the clip so that when I start in on this, you got full context and you can understand why I'm saying the things that I'm saying today and why we're back at this topic today. We're going to get to some other things in today's show, but I'm going to start here because it's important. But Kwame Brown's going to come on the show. We'll talk a little bit more with him about Matt Barnes and Stephen A. Smith. Matt McChesney's going to come on today's show. We'll talk about the things going on at Colorado with Deion Sanders and what's going on with Matt McChesney and his radio career. And as we do on most Thursdays, Shaun King will close out the show with us, and we'll discuss Dianna Russini and Mike Vrabel. Shaun may have a take on me and Matt Barnes. We don't know. We never know where the conversation with me and Shaun King will go. But I wanted to start here, and let me put you in on the fun that I had yesterday with Matt Barnes and his All the Smoke video and him talking smack on me. Let's play SOT 6. Stephen A., it's Matt Barnes.
Stephen A., I fuck with you. I look up to you. But what you've been on is bullshit, bro.
Yeah, I'm a migger. Yeah, I'm a wigger. I'm a migger. Yeah, Stephen A. Those of us that are retarded, like me and you, we both retarded. And we both are Negro wranglers. It's our job. Keep these Negroes in line. Stephen A. Now, I know when I was in high school and growing up, all my friends were white. I know I'm not black, but it's our job. Keep these Negroes wrangled. And that fat piece of doo-doo, Jason Whitlock, we both agree. We got to keep this Negro in line. And so, Stephen A., I'm telling you, I'm going to go into character and pretend that I'm black. You go into character and pretend that your IQ is over 60. And we can stop this fat piece of doo-doo, Jason Whitlock.
Jason Whitlock. And we all know he's a piece of shit.
Because it's our job to keep Negroes dumb and stupid.
When did your album come out?
June 37th, be ready.
I'm doing my part. I'm on here smoking weed. That's what me and Steven Jackson do. We smoke weed. We high all the time. So niggas know they need to be high all the time.
I'm high all the time and I'm on the
That's being black. Jason Whitlock, he don't want to be black. Me and you, Stephen A., we good niggas.
Toby be good nigga for massa. Good nigga.
We do what Massa tell us to do. Masses tell us to keep it real stupid. Sometimes, Stephen A., you go too far pretending like you ain't retarded like me and Steven Jackson. You don't smoke blunts on camera. Sometimes you act like you and Jason Whitlock on the same team. Cut that out. You know, Kwame Brown called me Becky with the good hair.
Really, Becky with the good hair?
Yeah, I got good hair. He jealous. Cause I ain't like the rest of you nappy-headed niggas. I'm Matt Barnes. I'm Mexican. I'm white. I'm who the hell knows what I am. I don't know what I am. But I know these checks is good for kissing Kamala and Michelle Obama and Barack Obama's ass. So I'm gonna keep on kissing their rear end. That's it from all the woke. We got to be woke together, or you going down, Stephen A. You going down. Matt Barnes has fallen into the clap trap. The clap trap. He's fallen into it. He's taken the bait from me, from others, and he wants to get into a war of words with someone who writes and talks for a living. This is what I do, Matt. You're way out over your skis. Listen to your handlers and controllers who tell you, hey man, war of words with Whitlock, not smart. Try your best to pretend like Whitlock doesn't exist. Now, I hope you can't resist it. I hope, and this is why I think when we titled this video, we put it out like, oh, Matt Barnes is just as retarded as Stephen A. Smith. And I believe that. And that's why when I start clapping, you and Stephen A. both have fallen into the clap trap. Because when I start exposing just how fraudulent both of you are, and then you have to start explaining, and people start having questions about, well, who is this guy? How is Matt Barnes, how did he elect himself as the overseer of Black America? Who is Matt Barnes? What are his qualifications? Oh, he had a 14-year NBA career and was a role player on some decent basketball teams. But Matt Barnes, because Jason Whitlock's done the homework, like the king of Black America, the man that grew up around nothing but white people? Nothing but? This mixed race, clearly, maybe he had a father, but clearly his father didn't have much influence on him, because the way that he's behaving and acting and the kind of stupidity and idiocy that he's promoting, that generally speaking doesn't come from a father, certainly not a heavenly father. Matt Barnes sounds just as stupid as Stephen A. Smith. Y'all clapping back at a person that clapping is like, that's what I do. I'm here to expose the frauds. And so I told you all yesterday that Stephen A. Smith and Matt Barnes were actually working together. That this little feud, their little back and forth about Memphis and LeBron, it's a work, it's a psyop. They're working together. All the tough guy talk from Stephen A. Smith. It's hype. It's trying to prove, because everybody's well aware at this point, Stephen A. Smith is afraid of me. And so trying to mask the fact and to get people to quit talking about the fact that Stephen A. is afraid of me, they've arranged a fight against a tomato can, Matt Barnes, for Stephen A. Smith to be the tough guy. I'm not afraid of anybody. You see the way I stood up to Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson? It's a gimmick. They're working together. And so let me just give you the background there. This is Matt Barnes' response to Stephen A. on the Memphis deal. This is the beginning of their fake feud. Play SOT 2.
So I just saw a video of Stephen A. Smith having an issue with LeBron on a golf course with a bunch of white boys, as he put it, talking about Memphis and how they should move to Nashville. And if you've been paying attention on social media, it's kind of a trending topic right now. I played in Memphis, got a lot of love for the city, but there's no doubt that the city needs to upgrade when it comes to its facilities for pro players. But Stephen A., you shouldn't have a problem with that. You're talking about his words and what they mean to the black community. But you've been the same man in front of the camera for the last handful of months, disrespecting Serena Williams, disrespecting Jasmine Crockett, disrespecting Kamala Harris, and tap dancing for the whole Republican Party, the whole white Republican Party. But you got an issue with LeBron talking about a trending topic, and his words carry weight, and he doesn't understand what his words can do to the black community. Do you understand the bullshit you're talking and what that can do to the black community? We all used to have a lot of love for you, bro, particularly me, because you looked out. But we're not going to forget the bullshit you on right now.
And so that's Matt Barnes picking a fight with Stephen A. Smith. It's a fake fight. It's slap boxing. No one's intended to get hurt. Stephen A. responded. I believe these are shots 7 and 8. This is Stephen A.'s tough guy response to Matt Barnes.
I ain't just a black man, I'm a brother. And I'ma always look out for my people, just not the way you want. I'm not gonna look out for you by telling you everything is okay and kissing your ass and saying the stuff that one party wants me to say. Bump them! Work for my vote, flatter me. Matt Barnes got political. That's what he did. And when that brother, who I still love, sat up there and accused me of tap dancing, respectfully, you got me up. Wrong dude. Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson not being on ESPN, that ain't my fault, that's y'all's, because I'd want y'all on the show. Because I love your basketball talk. I big upped all the smoke all of these years. I've never uttered a negative syllable about y'all. Not a fucking syllable. Nothing.
That's General Hospital. This is why they have Stephen A. on General Hospital, to improve his acting skills so he can deliver those lines. I never ordered a syllable. It's Stephen A. hats off. Get you a daytime Emmy or whatever. But I told y'all yesterday, this was a work. It's not real. This is all a setup. So it's a breakup for the makeup. And it's a breakup so they can sing Kumbaya and go on each other's shows. And Stephen A. can go on there and I stood up to Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. See, I'm my own man. I'm tough. Yes, Whitlock has pulled my pants down and made me look like a coward and a weirdo. And, you know, that stuff he said about me playing solitaire at the NBA Finals. Solitaire at the NBA Finals. That's something you would think your grandmama would do. Go to the NBA Finals and play solitaire. It raises a lot of questions about Stephen A. Smith. And he's trying to fight to disprove that. No. Whitlock said that, you know, I may have some sugar in the tank. Let me prove that I don't. I stood up to Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. And so that went back and forth. And voila, yesterday, Stephen A. Went on the comeback trail of kissing Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson's butt and talking about how they can all work together. This thing is a work. Let's play shot 8 and 9 back to back.
Matt Barnes got political.
No, wrong shot. Yeah. Wrong shot 8 and 9. Do we? Well, hold on. Here
I
we go.
appreciate that video. I found nothing disrespectful, not a single word about what you said. And you're absolutely right. We ain't going to sit up there and include all the trolls and the wannabes and people that's just trying to get their name in the mix for clickbait. We don't need to do that. I appreciate your video. We disagree. But I want you to know that I didn't find a single word that you just uttered remotely disrespectful. Old school Stephen A. wouldn't slap the shit out of this new Stephen A. because there ain't no new Stephen A. I always been Stephen A. I am consistent. It's other people who have changed. And it doesn't catch me by surprise, nor do I consider it an accident that all of this noise that has been coming at me has been since I got my new deal. You got cats wanting me canceled and acting like I didn't work 30 years to earn where I got and want to strip me of everything that I bust my ass for my entire career. Knowing that I helped, I'm not talking about you, Matt, you're not doing that. But I'm talking about these people, knowing how many people from our community that I've helped along the way. But if you remember, Matt, I always talk about this. There's a difference between being listened to and being heard. Anybody can nod their head and listen and say, I got it, I got it, I got it. But when they hear you, that means they recognize what you're doing and they see the forest from the trees. And sometimes you have to maneuver differently through the terrain in order to get shit done. And the reason why I bring that up, Matt, is because you one of the people that I rock with. I don't think you smart. I think you brilliant. I think you brilliant as shit. And I'm proud to know you. Ain't no animosity this way, especially after that video. We good.
Matt Barnes is brilliant, according to Stephen A. Brilliant. I don't know if you could be more ignorant than Matt Barnes. I do know you can be more dishonest than Matt Barnes, and Matt Barnes is really dishonest, and we've busted him on this show and shown the receipts of like Matt Barnes tried to make up something that went down at his high school and turn it into this great racial event where he was racially persecuted at his high school and they did this and they did that. And then we went and found what he said while he was in high school, quoted in Sacramento newspapers or whatever newspaper was local to him. I can't remember. But we found the quotes of like what he said then. And it was the total opposite of what he's saying now. Matt Barnes is dishonest. He is a child of Satan. And I'm going to get into that here in a second. But Stephen A. is like a pathological liar on a whole different level. And so I don't want to, but they both got the same father. They both are working from the same playbook. This whole little feud is a deception and a setup for these two guys to come to an agreement that we're both brilliant. And yes, Stephen A., I know you flunked fourth grade and your daddy thought you was retarded and everybody at the school thought you was retarded, but you're brilliant. You were the guy advising us and the guy that we would call and check in on for advice, even though you're a retard. This is two retards consulting with each other, elevating their retardation. Retard times retard equals multiple retards. And but I'm going to go a cut deeper here. Give me a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna bring Kwame into the conversation. But I want to go a cut deeper here because people are reacting to the spat between Stephen A. and Matt Barnes. People are reacting to the video I put out making fun of Matt Barnes. And I don't want to have fun today. I did yesterday, and that video that I put out on Matt Barnes served a point. It was using humor to make a serious point that somehow someone that grew up with all white people, who's of some sort of mixed race heritage we don't know, has appointed himself the leader of black people and the gatekeeper of black people. And Stephen A. is another gatekeeper of black people. And they're working together to keep black people ignorant, to keep black people thinking the ultimate thing a black person can do is be ignorant and to stay high. But I want to make a more serious point because the guys over at Speakeasy, Emmanuel Acho's show, they put out a video or they talked about what's going on here, and they talked about my spoof video. And they headlined it on YouTube as Matt Barnes is a fake tough guy. And that is a mistake, gentlemen. Acho, Matt Barnes is not a fake tough guy. He is a tough guy. He's a satanic tough guy. This man is dangerous. I know that. If you do the homework on Matt Barnes, he's been dangerous for a long time. Going back to childhood, he's done some really diabolical things to people that thought they were friends with Matt Barnes. Not a fake tough guy. He's a dangerous guy. And Acho and his crew in their discussion, they had this real uncomfortable conversation about me because, Whitlock is wild. Whitlock is this. They were very reluctant initially to give me any credit. They don't understand me. And I don't blame them for not understanding me because clearly they don't share the same fear of God that I do. Because fear is driving me as it relates to Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson, all this. I don't fear them. I fear God. Fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Fear of God should be driving all of us. Our fear of God should make us obedient and should make us revile or just repulsed by satanic, demonic individuals like Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, men that have openly and honestly and transparently acknowledged through their behavior. They've let you know, no, I serve Satan here on this earth. I don't fear God because I'm serving Satan. That's who Matt Barnes is. That makes him dangerous. That makes him someone that should only be dealt with by someone who actually and authentically fears God. Because these guys need to be confronted so that young children aren't fooled into believing that, hey, serving Satan is the great long-term play. Serving Satan is the only way I can get rewards in this world. That is not true. God's rewards are eternal, but he has rewards right here on this earth as well. It may look like Satan has the greatest rewards. Look at all the money. Look at how people, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, and Kamala Harris, they go on shows with Matt Barnes. And that should tell you something about who they're serving. If you're going on a show with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, and Steven Jackson is wearing one of them Freemason outfits that lets you know like who he's serving, it's not God. And so when you see Kamala and Michelle Obama on those shows, they're letting you know they don't fear God either. Because if they did, if they went on a show with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, they would rebuke them to their face. Hey, man, you guys are serving Satan. What's all this weed smoke and all this? Don't you know what you're promoting to young people? Don't you know the problems young people have, black and white, with drugs? Don't you know that the majority of men sitting in prison, drug use, alcohol abuse is part of the root cause that led them to prison? Don't you know that in order to serve Satan, you have to be high? It's the only way the insanity makes sense. And so when you hop on camera all the time trying to message to young people that, hey, look, I'm high and I'm high all the time and I think you should be high all the time, that's to get your mind right and prepared to do the will of Satan. Those of us that believe in God, serve God, fear God, we don't turn to drugs to get inspired and prepare to do the duty of God. We listen to hymns. We listen to Christian music. That's what prepares our mind to do the will of God and to fear God and to serve God and to revere God. This is a drug dealer. And Stephen A. Smith, oh, he's brilliant and I revere him and we're friends and we're this and that. And I can't wait to go on his show with him because we're in this together. So I want to play you a couple of excerpts from Emmanuel Acho's show, Speakeasy. And Hadley, tell Kwame to give me 5 minutes of grace. And everybody, Matt McChesney and Shaun King, tell them to give me 5 minutes of grace. I'm going to get through this in about another 5 minutes, and then I'm going to get to Kwame. But well, it may take me 7 minutes because this first clip is about 3 minutes. And this is Acho and his crew talking about my video. And you can see and hear their discomfort. And then there's a Washington Commanders defensive end, former Kansas City Chief, Charles Amenahu, on the show. He hasn't been given the programming. Hey, we hate Whitlock, and be careful here. Don't say anything positive about Whitlock. This guy's actually just reacting to what he's seeing. But anyway, let's play Sod 11.
Yep. Kieran, you go first, bruh.
I don't want to go first. Why I got to go first? Look, man. Wow, I don't know what to say. I do think Matt Barnes going out and essentially positioning himself as like the spokesperson for the culture is kind of, it's interesting though too, because I think there's a lot of ways that you can kind of take it and whatnot. Obviously, I think
land your plane, brother. You scrambling.
I don't want to answer this. I just watched Jason Whitlock act like Matt Barnes for 2 minutes. What am I supposed to say? The internet is not a real place. It's
not.
Ridiculous.
You're right.
Hey, Whitlock's a wild man. That was a wild video.
I mean, clearly, yeah.
It's a wild video. But I do think, Whitlock just used comedy to land points about Matt Barnes that could be landed. Like, Matt, you're recording a video with one hand, you lighten up a blunt in another. Stop the show.
Yeah.
Stop the show. That's the difference. It's like, I just am who I am.
Yeah.
Call me what you want to call me. At least you calling me. Matt, who are you for real? Because, Matt, you not really like that. I know you, Matt. You a good, kind, gentle dude. But the camera come on, and now you acting like you about to fight everybody. That's why I think Whitlock took it to the heights that Whitlock took it to, is because it's like, who are you for real? I think we live in a society where everybody be trying to act hard. Everybody be trying to act tough. Everybody trying to act like they about that action. Everybody trying to act like they ready to throw hands at any second and any given notice. No, you're not. And that's okay too.
I think with the Matt Barnes video, I think the first thing was like the blunt thing was just like, you dragging it, bro. I think that was his way of symbolizing like, this is what black people are supposed to do. I'm like pro-black, like I can relate to the black dude on the corner on the side in the projects. Like I can be that guy. And I think Whitlock was just like, bro, you're a clown. So if you're gonna be a clown, I'm gonna be the biggest clown. And I'm gonna take the clown show to the highest heights of clownism. And that's what he did, and it's funny as hell. Shout out to Jason Whitlock, bro. You're a funny ass dude. Keep doing you, Matt Barnes, bro. We gotta you can be pro black, but just do it your way.
And the only thing is like, can we shout out Jason Whitlock? We can't shout out Jason Whitlock on this show. That might be a drinkable offense.
Jason Whitlock is wild boy.
He's a wild boy. He is funny.
He's funny.
He's funny.
He's disrespectful.
That was funny. Like,
I'm giving his
hilarious.
flowers for how he was just being funny.
Yes, that was funny.
Yeah.
Because
Charles, thank you for rejecting the programming and just keeping it real. I do have to say, for the light-skinned, chubby guy and for Emmanuel Acho, that is progress for them in terms of honesty. It's progress. That was very painful for them to have to acknowledge the facts. Do better. But again, I understand you're not built for this type of conflict. Matt Barnes is a satanic soldier. He did I can't remember. Did I read John 8:44? And Kwame, I'm coming to you here in a second. Let me just help you understand what Jesus said about people like Matt Barnes. You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to the truth, for there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native language, for he is a liar and the father of lies. And so there are people that wrongly, and I used to be one of these people, it's just like, hey, we're all child of God. Some of us are just in rebellion. That is not true. There are some of us that are childs of God, but there are also those of us that are childs of Satan. Jesus made that real clear, crystal clear. And Matt Barnes, if you do the research on him from childhood, this man has had some demonic energy running through him and controlling his behavior since childhood. I've talked to the people that grew up with him, went to high school with him. These are all white people, by the way, because Matt Barnes and all this cosplay as the ultimate black man, that ain't how he grew up. So anyway, Kwame is here. Matt's here already too. So make sure we mute Matt. Matt's way early, but Kwame's here. And so I'm going to bring Kwame into the conversation a tiny bit early. I've got some other clips I want to play from the Speakeasy crew that I'm going to react to. But let's bring Kwame into the conversation. And Kwame, you've had your problems with Matt Barnes, as have I. You've had your problems with Stephen A. Smith, as I have as well. I believed, Kwame, I've been arguing the feud between Matt Barnes and Stephen A. Smith is fake. It's not real. It's a work, a WWE work, where they're trying to actually build each other up. What do you think of that take?
Is my mic on? Is my mic good in here?
Yeah, we hear you great.
Okay. I think it's fake, but I think it's more political than anything. I think they don't like the fact that Stephen A. is not right down the middle Democrat, and he's been saying some things to make him sound like an independent, but he's gonna vote Democrat regardless. And in my opinion, but I think with Matt Barnes having Kamala Harris on and being with Michelle Obama, Barack Obama, that crew, they want total obedience. So some of the things that he pointed out about Jasmine Crockett, you can see in Matt Barnes' response, those were the things that he didn't like. So I just think Matt Barnes was coming out to maybe chastise Stephen A. for the Democratic Party.
The other contention that I have here is that, like, Acho and these guys that are saying Matt Barnes is a fake tough guy, I think that's the wrong read. I think Matt Barnes is a tough guy. I think he's an idiot, and a lot of tough guys are idiots, and that he really has no control over himself. That's why he stays high 24/7 and promotes that. He's not a fake tough. I mean, he is not fake with his toughness. And Acho and these guys need to know who they're dealing with. Matt Barnes is dangerous because of his level of stupidity and his level of willingness to serve satanic forces. Your reaction to that?
I think your skit was spot on. I mean, I don't know where you got that from. When you sent me that, I'm like, dang, I got to stop smoking. But I said, I don't smoke on camera, but I was like, dang, I got to stop smoking. But no, Matt Barnes, I think I was spot on with Matt Barnes when I identified that beige rage that he has. He's one of those light-skinned cats that a lot of light-skinned guys get teased by darker-skinned guys like myself. It's a defense mechanism. We get called dark-skinned. We get called certain names. So when we get a light-skinned guy, especially with slick hair like Matt Barnes, he's never black enough for any conversation with me. So what he does is he go over the top with his blackness. So they got to be careful with a guy like that because he's always trying to prove something. So he may not be tough, but his intentions is to prove that he is. So he'll end up doing stupid things in that because of that reason. And he'll end up getting people to do stupid things with him. So do I think Matt Barnes by himself is a tough guy? No. But I think him and his crew and the people that he's around, I think he can be pretty dangerous.
I want to play Emmanuel Acho. He's talking about Matt Barnes, and he describes 3 different kinds of black people. And I want to get your reaction, my reaction to that. Let's play SOT 12.
Black people don't need to be a monolith. And the problem with what Matt suggests oftentimes is that if you do not think, if you do not talk, if you do not walk in this one-track mind of what Matt Barnes has defined as blackness, then you are not black. If you do not walk, talk, think, and smoke in this one-track mind of what Matt Barnes has defined as blackness, then you are not for the culture. Then you are a coon. You dancing for the man. You a sellout. If you do not walk, talk, and think in this one-track mind of blackness. But with all due respect, Obama black and Matt Barnes black are 2 different kinds of acting black. Kamala black and Matt Barnes black are 2 different kinds of acting black. So that's the only tension I have, and I think that's what Whitlock diabolically was trying to allude to, but that's my only tension.
So my reaction is Barack Obama never knew his daddy. We still don't know who his daddy is. I'm not sure if he knows who his daddy is. His white grandparents raised him, and his white mama raised him. And so, I really don't want to hear Barack Obama as the authority on blackness. Kamala Harris, parents are Indian. I don't know what her daddy is. I don't know what her mama is. She's claiming blackness. Sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. I really don't want her set up as the authority on blackness. Matt Barnes, I don't know who his daddy is. Becky with the good hair and grew up around all white people. And I've talked to the white people that he grew up with, and the way they've described him and his behavior and the evil, wicked things he did to them. Just like, he's not the authority on blackness. This beige rage and the African American insanity. It's always them. And it's like people with a black mama and a black daddy, and particularly those that had a black daddy that stuck around, it's like, we don't talk this way because we not out trying to prove. I don't have to prove nothing about my blackness. I'm black.
Right. I mean, it's a real thing. I don't think, I can't think of one person I can name that they put in front of us to represent black folks that are actually full black. I mean, like you just said, everybody you name, there's an asterisk by their blackness. So they've always, like Acho said, they've always found a way. I don't think it's a Matt Barnes thing. In our community, we've always found ways to invalidate people. Like I've invalidated people because they were too light skinned. You're not black enough for this conversation. I get invalidated now because I done made money. I played basketball. So now in the hood, some people tell me you don't identify with us anymore. So I just think it's a way for people not to have a conversation. And in our community, especially, we always try to find a way to disqualify the next person. They're not educated. They're not this. They're not that. Even Roland Martin, this is one of the most educated guys, so to speak. But every time I hear him go at somebody's talking point, he just attacked the person. I really wish we can get back to a public debate or a forum to where the really smart people actually be smart and not condescending and not attack each other so that the youth can learn how to talk to one another. But we don't really have people talking like that no more. The Thomas Sowells of the world are no longer here in open debate. They just, the Larry Elders, they just push these guys to the side, or guys like you, they won't even talk to you. They just call you a coon.
Same thing they did to those guys, and to Larry Elder, to Thomas Sowell, to Booker T. Washington. There's a long history of it, but it is what it is. I do think Speakeasy, at the end of their conversation, and I don't know this gentleman's name, I think he's maybe an intellectual on the show. He wears glasses. He got long hair, Matt Barnes type long hair. I'm not trying to. I don't know who he is, but he got to a point at the end that I think is worthy of discussion. Let's play SOT 13.
This is the diaspora's fault as a bigger picture. We are not on the same page as a diaspora of what we want presently and generationally for ourselves. What change looks like, what our liberation looks like, what we want to have, what the goals we want to attain. So we are going to constantly, until we get on the same page, have this divergence of thought and action and what black should look like and what pro-black is and the things that we should focus on. Is it the political realm? Is it the systemic issues? Do we just focus on our family at home? And if we do that collectively, then we'll all rise. Do we need to take down the white power structure? All of these different things that are all a factor in what it means to be a black American, but we're not on the same page. So to me, it just makes sense that Matt Barnes has the take that he has, and then somebody that is of the same creed and color, like Jason Whitlock, can have the take that he has. Because we are just worlds apart when it comes to what we want as a people. You're going to have a difference of opinion. And those opinions are going to be very far and very vastly apart. So I can't blame Matt Barnes. I don't agree with it. His caping for the culture as like, this is what the one thing we should be doing, because there are a number of things, but I can't really hate him for his sake.
But it minimizes the mind and the experience of the black person.
So, I want to be educated too.
So I go back to this narrative that black people and the culture, that we have this shared struggle and identity, and I just don't think it's true.
It's so far from the truth.
And so this unity that we're promoting based on skin color is never going to happen, because it's like Jason Whitlock and Matt Barnes are of the same creed and color. How? This Negro's hair is as straight as a white woman's. I'm a nappy-headed Negro. Let me put a comb through my hair, and you might be able to hear it. That ain't what it sounds like. That ain't what it sounds like when you put a comb through Matt Barnes' hair. And we're not the same color, and we need to quit looking for this color-coded unity. Unity is based on shared values. And I would suggest, Acho, with a father that's a minister, tell them young brothers you sitting around with, like, hey, man, the culture we should be rallying around is Jesus Christ and a Christian culture. There's unity in that. And then if you look at... Excuse me?
He'd get fired if he do that.
It's his show. It's Acho's show. But
he'd lose sponsorship or something. You can't bring Jesus up.
You're right. Okay, then just do this, Acho. Tell these guys, if you keep looking for this color-coded unity, it doesn't work. Show me where it has. White people don't rally together around whiteness. They rally together around values.
Right.
I'm a conservative. You're a liberal. Mm-hmm. Mexicans do the same thing. There's only one group of people that are being told, like, man, if you don't accept these democratic talking points, you ain't black. They don't do that to white people. They don't do it to Mexican people. They don't do it to Asian people. these Somalians is coming over here. They can do whatever, they can join whatever political party they want. Only one group has a set of chains wrapped around their neck, ankles, arms, and legs, and you're thrown out of the community if you don't support gay marriage and all this other gay stuff that the left promotes. Your thoughts?
I think the shackles have come off of our hands, off our wrists and our ankles, and they put them around our brains because so many people are afraid to think for themselves, and you're easier to control when they make you think as a group. That's why when I came on my page, I said I don't belong to no groups. Even with my brothers, they know that I'm going to make my own individual decision because that's how so many of these people are getting RICOs. Like I said, it's too easy to control people that think based on just one thing is color. You might have some personal things that's going on with you and a personal grievance why you're doing things the way you're doing it. It might come from trauma. You know, you might come from a 2-parent household that you're perfectly fine. I might have come from a prison background. So you put all these people together, everybody's going to think different based on their lived experience. So we can't just be about color. It got to be about, like you said, it got to be about values and morals. And when you stop looking at behavior, which nobody wants to examine somebody's behavior, we don't look at Black folks' behavior no more. That's why Matt Barnes can sit on camera, get high, and still have his sponsorships. That's why we can bring out Meg Thee Stallion to the DNC and she can twerk with a minister right there on stage. And we don't watch behavior no more. We watch color. We make everything color, and we vote based on color. Hell, I voted for Barack Obama only because he was Black, and we got nothing out of it. So, you know, it is what it is.
We actually, Kwame, they baited you into co-signing gay marriage, and this is why when the scales finally come off your eyes and realize everything Black, they're selling you everything Black so they can rear end you.
That's what it seems like.
It's the alphabet mafia. It's like, hey, take these 6, 7, 8 inches and under the pretense this is the Black thing to do, and we do it. And they're like, well, he did it. I might as well have done it. Everybody's done it. Everybody's bending over. Everybody's at the Diddy party with the baby oil, and it's Black, so it's good.
Well, I'm not going to the Diddy party. I ain't going. I'm sorry. I don't like the party no more. My hip bad.
Kwame, I gotta go. I'm behind schedule, but thank you so much. Great job as always. That's Kwame Brown, #1 overall pick. I think 12-year NBA career. Has his YouTube channel, Bust Life with Kwame Brown, or Kwame Brown Bust Life. Anyway, it's easy to find Kwame on YouTube. You should do that. Matt Barnes is just around the corner. Before we get there, I'll need to tell Matt McChesney. Did I say Matt Barnes? Yeah, Matt McChesney is just around the corner. Before we do, I need, if you're listening over Apple or Spotify, you need to give us that 5-star rating. This content is amazing. Thank you so much. Those of you that are dealing with the aches and pains from inflammation, boy, do I have a solution for you. It's Relief Factor. Relief Factor has been a partner with me on this show and in my life for about a year now. It's a 100% drug-free daily supplement that fights inflammation. Inflammation is the source of those aches and pains that are compromising your life and making you think, I can't do what I used to do. Well, yes, you can. Relief Factor may be a solution for you. They have a $19 3-week quick start program. And 70% of the people that tried the 3-week quick start circle back and re-up because they're already experiencing the benefits of Relief Factor. It's something that's part of my daily routine. It's helped me. I've told you guys countless times about Jeffrey Steele, 64-year-old country music Hall of Famer, bikes 30 miles a day. He's out there right now this morning. He can do it because Relief Factor is a part of his routine. There's 2 ways for you to get Relief Factor. Visit relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Matt, I'm only 5 minutes late. Matt McChesney, joining me now. Matt, I want to start with a little bit of Deion talk because you are the foremost authority on the Colorado Buffaloes and all that they've got going on. Deion, I think, said something kind of mature, that he's not going to engage with the former Colorado players who have something negative to say about the Buffaloes. Let's play SOT 14.
Some of our past players have been commenting on us, which is cool with me. We're not going to be provoked to comment back or to say anything ignorantly back. I wish those guys the best. One thing that I could comfortably say, some people came here that you didn't know of, and when they left, they had a name. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud that they were able to earn more than they earned here that could help their friends, family, as well as loved ones, and can help themselves. So I'm happy with that. We're still in good relationship with quite a few, but you got to understand some young men play the victim, and that's not the case. We try to treat everybody here with utmost respect and professionalism, and I hope we've done just that, as well as treating you the same way. But we would not engage in back and forth with any former players. And our aim is just to really please, support, encourage, motivate, and really prepare our men that we have on campus for the next phases of their life. Let's go.
Great statement by Deion. I'm not sure if he had any choice. Jordan Seaton, offensive tackle, 5-star, big-time recruit, has left for LSU and has had some passive-aggressive things to say about how much better things are at LSU. I think Ryan Staub, the backup quarterback, is now at Tennessee. A couple of passive-aggressive comments. There's one other kid that I can't think of off the top of my name, but Matt, former Colorado. Excuse me?
Landon Merritt, the defensive end at Clemson, is who you mean.
Got you. Landed there. Matt, former Colorado Buffalo great, 6 years in the NFL, 0 to 60 Academy where he trains up college football prospects. He's got a radio show in Colorado that's about to go national. We'll talk about that a little bit at the end. But anyway, your reaction to what Dianna said here.
Well, first off, thanks for having me back on, Jason. Look, he had to say it. There was definitely a little bit of a firestorm of negativity. Now, Tyler Brown, who played guard for Colorado for 2 or 3 years and was a Jackson State guy, who is now, where is he now? Northwestern or James Madison. He's at James Madison. Good player. He also had a lot to say, but all of his stuff was extremely positive and shined a great light on Colorado and Coach Prime, as it should have. And that didn't get as much traction because it's not, Jordan Seaton taking perceived shots or Merritt taking shots or even Staub talking about how he's never been coached like this before in 3 years. Now, the players are right. They have their opinions. And the coaches at CU are right. They have their opinions. Coach Prime is right not to engage. You would try and reiterate that through your football team and have good media savvy in that regard. And also the 3 young men that, were asked the question and then answered it honestly, it's an opportunity to teach them how to slow play it a little bit better and not give everybody information. Answer the question without answering the question. My time at Colorado was amazing. I love Coach Prime. Thank you for everything he did. We won a lot of games. I learned a lot. I can't wait for my future here now at LSU, and all that's in the past. And I'll look back on it fondly, rather than just giving everyone ammo. But at the same time, at the end of the clip that you just ran, it's very fitting that Coach Prime would say some young man play the victim. And he didn't really elaborate on that. And it's kind of just, he's talking, and then bam, out of nowhere, he says, look, some of these guys are victims. And then he moves on without really elaborating on it. And I think that there's, regardless of what is said and how, he's brushing it off and the other players are moving forward, I think there was definitely some hurt feelings when Seaton did Coach Prime the way he did him. Like, to leave the way he did, and just at the end of the portal window cycle when he's supposed to be a leader, and if your dog come to Colorado and like recruiting his own cousin to come there just to leave. I think that one hurt. That one was personal. The other young men that went in the portal, I thought it was interesting how they did things this year, but I can't sit here and say it's wrong. We have to, we have to let everything play out to see what they look like going into Georgia Tech week 1 in Atlanta, which is going to be a tough game on the road to open the season.
So I agree with you. I think you're saying like Prime took a little shot there when he says playing the victim. That's a tiny shot.
Yes, sir.
Someone could react to that, and maybe he could have left it alone. But mostly, I agree with the way that he handled that. The other thing he said is like, "Hey, they left for a check," and that is true. Particularly as it relates to Jordan Seaton, he got a much bigger check. And if Colorado had been able to match it, he'd probably still be at Colorado. And he'd be talking about how well he got coached here. But I also picked up, you said something slightly inaccurate that I must push back on. You suggested that these players in their statement should have said, we won a lot of games. And
I'm just saying to be overly positive.
Or to lie.
Well, yeah, to do that too. Look, as a player, the media is like mushrooms. Feed them shit, keep them in the dark. So that's the way I would teach the players. So I would be overly, just like you pointed that out, like win a lot of games. What is he talking about? 16-21. The player, I just wanted to be over positive. We won a ton of games. It was incredible. Everything's awesome. And then they question, like, well, if it was so awesome, why did he leave? You're not really saying anything. You're just answering the question.
I'm mostly just teasing.
Very broadly.
That wasn't a super serious point. I'm just mostly.
I know.
But this is a serious question. Because I can't. Did Colorado win 3 games or 4 games last year? Were they 3 and 9?
They went 3-9.
3-9.
Ugh.
3-9.
Ugh.
And so let's say that was reversed, 9-3, or even 6-6 or 7-5. Do you think Deion's answer would have been different?
Yes, because I don't think people would have left.
Well, let's go the hypothetical.
If they're 9-3, if they're 9-3, and Salter was a hit, and he was a great player, and he's going to get drafted, and the offensive line gelled, and they ran the football, and the defense, balled out, and all these guys gelled together, you wouldn't have lost the Miller brothers. You wouldn't have lost all these other players to all these other programs. So he wouldn't be elaborating on it like this. Those guys would be coming back to develop into an 11-win football team or something. And we'd be talking about, especially in the case of Davis Swain, Merritt, McPherson, those really young cats, we'd be talking about them taking that next step into future NFL players. But, all those guys ended up leaving because, look, a lot of the blame went on Corey Phillips, who went to Memphis, and it rightfully so. The way that he handled the recruiting, and especially with Coach Prime being sick, is the reason he's not there anymore. He did not do a good job. Everybody in Buffalo country knows this. And then, the inability for Coach Prime to evaluate the guys that they were bringing in because he was sick, that didn't help the situation. But I do think that after that, last year I had multiple media members be like, this team is loaded. They have so much talent. And you saw at the beginning of the year, they lost all those tight games. I thought they had talent last year, but there was a huge deficit in so many other places, leadership and coaching and so many other things that they just couldn't make up for in the long run. So, this year, if they were a 9-3 football team last year, and they, are on the outside looking in for the playoff, but they have another great season and a good bowl game and so on and so forth, the narrative would be extremely different. He wouldn't be answering questions like this. He'd be answering questions about which program is going to pay him $15 million a year to leave Colorado at that point, if the roles were reversed, in my opinion.
All right. Let me prepare you for your new national radio show. by
Cool.
putting you to a
Little
test.
advice. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna put you to a test, a little test.
Cool.
As you got to do a national radio show, you've gone from local to national, and I want you to
Yes, sir.
explain what's going on with you and your show. But how would you handle the Dianna Russini, Mike Vrabel situation? So let me let's say I'm your co-host or producer on your national radio show. The first thing you need to be prepared to answer, Matt, is did you or would you have tapped Dianna Russini? Floor is yours.
Whitlock, you're a crazy dog.
You're doing a national radio.
Look,
You got to talk about this stuff.
Look, dog. Look. We all know it's undefeated. All right. And if you don't know what it is, I pity the fool. It's undefeated. And now Mike Vrabel's stuck in the trap. And, I say it all the time to my players, to the guys, to my sons. You can only stick your you-know-what in the blender once. And his shit's in a blender. And he did say he would cut it off in order to win a Super Bowl. Well, he lost a Super Bowl and self-sacrificed this shit. Now, I think the situation is hilarious. I think it's more hilarious that there's a spy following Mike Vrabel and a sideline reporter around. Like, retrospectively, who really gives a shit if these two are sleeping with each other? I find it almost hilarious that it's even news. That's how messed up the media cycle is and how slow the offseason is, apparently. I also find it very hypocritical on a serious note. And look, I'm not a religious guy. You know this, Jason. I haven't been blessed with faith. That's the way I look at it. If it comes to me one day, I'm more than happy to embrace it, but we'll see. But like what he said about Henderson and like the way he supported Ivy, and I thought Ivy in the NBA situation there, him getting fired essentially for standing up for what he believes is ridiculous. And I thought Henderson coming out and saying what he said to support it, and then for Vrabel to pretty much knock him down and off the pedestal and be like, you're embarrassing the franchise. You shouldn't put your beliefs in front of blah, 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 blah. All while the owner of the franchise is getting rubbed and tugged, and
happy ending.
Happy endings, excuse me. And the head coach is having, extramarital affairs at some adult-only exclusive resort in Arizona and getting spied on. But this kid can't just be a high-character kid with morals that believes in something because it might rub the left or Disney or ESPN the wrong way. It's ridiculous.
Gay people.
So there you go. The situation is
we get
very,
straight to the truth here. We don't have to be afraid here, Matt. That's the beauty.
Yeah, the situation
of surrendering
is pretty
to Jesus
funny,
Christ, Matt.
ultimately.
One day, when you surrender to Jesus Christ, you'll become more fearless. You won't fear the gays. You won't have to live in any fear of the gays. You can call them out exactly for what they are. It's an abomination. But anyway, go.
Hey, did you see the meme of the kid that walked up to like all the people at the protest and he was like, the Strait of Hamas, they're not taking the gays of Hamas. Why wouldn't you take the gays of Hamas? And you're only leaving the people that are straight. It was so funny in the way that they were answering. Oh my God. I'll send it to you. It's hilarious.
Please do. Last thing, be quick but don't hurry. Tell us about your new radio platform.
All right, so we've been doing 0 to 60 for a long time, and a huge respect for all the love there and all the fans, and we're going to keep doing that show too. But we were just hired. My co-host Bailey and I are taking our show and going national on 247 and CBS and it Buffs Insider. So you can go to buffsinsider.com and use the promo code B2BPod, and you get 60% off if you want to enroll and be a subscription-based supporter there for the new show that's called Back in Black. We're going to be talking about nothing but CU Buffs for an hour, 4 times a week, and it's going to be supported and pushed out by 247 and CBS. I'll also be doing a ton of scouting and evaluation work on the 247 side for the Rocky Mountain region and all the players and everything I do on the 6-0 Football Academy side of things. I really appreciate you having me on today, Jason, to support this and everything you do, man. It's big time, and you're one of the real ones. I appreciate you helping us get the word out there. And again, go to buffsinsider.com, check it out. B2B Pod, 60% off to subscribe. And we're rolling on Back to Black, and we start actually tomorrow at 1 o'clock's our first show at Buff Great and NFL fullback 8-year deep Lawrence Vickers from Houston, Texas, who's one of my brothers and a great friend, is going to be our first guest. And if you know LV, he is pure fire and piss and vinegar, and it's going to be a great show and a lot of fun. So thanks a lot, Jason. Appreciate you, brother.
Matt, appreciate you. Thanks for coming on. It's an opportunity for me. Take Matt off screen because I got to keep it going. I don't want him to respond to what I'm about to say. I got to keep moving. Shaun King's been waiting patiently. But it's an opportunity for me, seriously, to minister to Matt. And I know I do it in a joking fashion, but I just like having Matt on the show as singularly outreach to Matt, but also outreach to young people who think like Matt. And I mean this in all seriousness. Matt is a tough guy. He's a fearless guy. He doesn't realize his fearlessness would multiply 1,000 times when he surrenders to the Most High God, Jesus Christ. And that's what I'm trying to demonstrate as it relates to Jay. This is why I love having Coach JB on, and just an opportunity to speak directly to them and to show them that, like, hey, man, there's ways to be fearless that is really powerful, that doesn't involve cursing, doesn't involve a lot of things that the world has made you think are fearless. No, being fearless, like, man, Matt Barnes talking crazy, and Matt Barnes, yeah, he is dangerous. He's an absolute idiot, and he's dangerous. But I don't have to fear him because I fear God. And I know that my life has been written into the book in heaven, so I don't have to fear anything. And I have nothing here on earth to fear, and I, accept the consequences of, like, dangerous idiots like Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson and what they think about me. I only worry about what God thinks about me. And that makes me very fearless here on this earth. Same opportunities open to all of you. Before we get to Shaun King, I want to tell you about a company that shares my worldview and our values, and a company that is fearless, and a company that we should be supporting because they offer a service that we all need in this modern era. A cell phone. Patriot Mobile shares our values, fights for our values, and provides great cell service. I've had Patriot Mobile phone now for 3 or 4 years. Works splendidly for me. It's not expensive. It's covered by all 3 of the major networks. Patriot Mobile is something we should all, those of us that believe in God, those of us that want to spend our money with a company that believes in God and shares our value, you should be subscribed to Patriot Mobile. It's America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. And so when you switch to Patriot Mobile, you'll help grow a movement that fuels the Christian conservative cause. Every bill you pay helps advance the values of faith, family, and freedom. Switching is easier than ever. Activate in minutes. Keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. Take a stand today. Go to patriotmobile.com/fearless or call 972-PATRIOT. Use the promo code fearless for a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/fearless. Or call 972-PATRIOT and make the switch today. Shaun King, you ready to join me, Shaun? I see Shaun is. Shaun, I'm going to give you a chance to, I'm going to give you a chance to comment on Stephen A. and Matt Barnes and Emmanuel Acho. Have you been following any of that? Are you up to date? Did you see the video I put out, Shaun? Have you seen my video?
I did. I mean, you're officially Jason Trump. You fighting battles in 7 different places at once. You in Greenland, Iran, Venezuela, Cuba.
I like beef, Shaun.
You got wars going across the sports broadcast platform. I mean, listen, independent opinion is oftenly targeted. And you're an independent thinker. And your opinion generally is independent of the masses. And here's what people, and I don't know why people get into these little disputes with you. They talk about Stephen A. Smith's journey to where he's at, but they never talk about your journey. And they don't understand you've been doing this your entire life, starting like at the newspaper and work your way up. You got the same journey as Stephen A. Just when you were put in those positions, you chose to be authentic, and he chose to carry the company mantra. And it's not a right or wrong, it's just a personal choice. But I don't understand why they don't realize, like, this is what you do. Like, Matt Barnes not your first spat. Like, you've been doing this forever. You've been targeted forever. You used to being that guy.
And I'm certainly used to having hyper powerful forces come after me. And I'm not talking about Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. I'm talking about billionaires. And I'm talking about people that actually control the puppet strings that Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson are attached to. They've been on me for a long time. So anyway, I appreciate that. I would, I'm not even going to clarify or push back against your narrative, but Stephen A. in my path has been different for a long time, from the outset. I didn't, I've never needed to be carried by anybody. I'll just leave it at that. So
I'm talking more time on project, meaning y'all in this industry, in this space before it was popular.
Yeah.
Like where you were having to really get it from the mud. Like people only got information through written like mechanisms. You got up the next morning to look at the box score to see how many points or what article Jason Whitlock wrote, kind of gave a perspective of what was going on in Kansas City, which is the one I remember. Like, so I'm just saying, y'all been in that game a long time. I don't know why these newcomers, go up against guys with way more experience. Leave Whitlock alone, y'all.
All right, give me a couple of minutes to set up this next part of the conversation. Dianna Russini and Mike Vrabel. I'm going to come to you. Take Shaun off screen, though. Let me set this up, and then we'll come back to Shaun. This Dianna Russini, Mike Vrabel deal, it's a bit more significant or fascinating or impactful than I thought. I was aware of Dianna Russini and her work at ESPN. I did not even know until this controversy came up with her and Mike Vrabel that she had flipped over to the New York Times and The Athletic and was actually off of ESPN. And so, I kind of knew her at ESPN and kind of assumed she was still there. I was not aware until this has come out that she's basically gone the only cans route. I didn't know that she had enhanced her breast. I didn't know that she had this history of very salacious, sensational commentary that has kind of followed her around, and people have dug up and have been like, holy cow. And it's made me think, like, man, is Dianna Russini actually a bigger force for sexual degeneracy in sports media than even Joy Taylor? So we've had big cans and peanut butter skin, and now we have fake cans and suntan skin. And, these are two only cans models that have made a name for themselves in the media space. But I want to play for you some of these clips that people have dug up that, like, holy cow, Dianna Russini's been at this for a long time. Let's just play SOT 3, 4, and 5 back to back to back.
Have a Super Bowl.
No, I did things in Miami I haven't even told my husband because it's just I had that much fun. It was well, not like that, but like I knew he would he would judge the kind of partying I was doing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what got into me. I just remember being down there acting like it was my last day on earth. I think when men propose, that's their wedding day. Like that's when you guys are all in. It's not really all in for us yet. I think for women, the actual wedding day is the moment. So, I mean, Kev was all down for it. I was the one that was very skeptical. I was like, oh, I don't know. And at the time I was working at ESPN, and I remember I was still working. And so the night before my wedding, I'm making calls, and I had a phone interview set up with Jimmy Garoppolo. And I remember Jimmy was great. He made like a funny joke, like, "Hey, it's night before your wedding. You sure you want to do this?" And I'm thinking, like, of all the people in my life that I'm going to talk to the night before my wedding, the one guy my dad wanted me to, or my mom wanted me to marry, was Jimmy Garoppolo. And he's calling me. Like, this is a sign. I of course, did not marry Jimmy Garoppolo.
Dianna, what's up? How are you?
What's up, guys? I told your producer that I want to be introduced now. I don't want to be insider. I don't want to be Scoop City podcast host. I just want to be MILF. Just straight up MILF. That's what I'm going for.
What the hell? that is such a...
I'm just trying. I am trying out here. It is hard in the streets, guys, to keep up. But
if you start calling yourself MILF, you're going to get a lot of followers.
No, I'm so not a MILF, but like, look, I used to be like, I never want to be that. I'm leaning into it now. I'm like, all right, let's just do it. Forget it.
She put it out there. All the signs. I wish, I wish is a strong word or not the actual word, but I didn't know this is who she was. And there's a bunch of other clips that people have dug up and things she's tweeted about. She put out something where the tweet was like, Aaron Rodgers is standing between me and my marriage or something. It's just like she is out there. And so, Shaun King, I'm going to bring you back into the conversation. If you had to marry one, and you're a married man, so this is a hypothetical question, but if you had to marry one, Dianna Russini or Joy Taylor?
Dianna, hands down. Shout out to Dianna Russini. Like, here's what I believe, Jason. Free birds gotta fly. Right? It's not your job to change your partner. It's your job to elevate your partner. But when you decide to partner up, you're accepting the person your partner is. And Diana's talking about before they got married. So he knew what he was marrying. And free birds got to fly. I haven't heard her husband come out and say he has an issue with her behavior. This is all other people being nosy in somebody else's business.
Listen, I've called this a simpuation. That's what we have here. It's a simpuation. And that he's in on it, that he agreed to this. Like, hey, whatever you need to do to become a bigger star in the media, pursue it by any means necessary. I'll be back here doing my job. I think that's what we're looking at.
Some guys are like that. They're cool with that. I mean, this is her pre-marriage. That energy that she gave is no different than the energy she did. Free birds gotta fly. Shout out to you, Dianna, for being you.
Well, again,
JB believes Sharon Moore was involved with the assistant.
Yes.
Like, sometimes people, that's their marriage. If they're okay with it, then who are we to be judgmental and condemn?
Well, there are some of us that believe, marriage is between a man and a woman, and sex is between a married man and a woman, and she needs to not be married because some of these comments were made while she was married. She's,
right.
She
and her
on national TV calling her husband average, and if if he were
posts,
attracted.
Jason, if it doesn't bother her husband, like me and Sage Steele were. First time I met Sage Steele was like 1999. She was covering the Bucks. Sage was married. I had never met the guy. And I knew Sage for a decade. I never heard him say anything publicly. And I know she got divorced and remarried, but I'm talking about the first time, like let's talk about the male component of it. Some guys are just cool. Okay, yeah, that's my wife. She's a celebrity. She's a star. Let her do her thing. If he don't have a problem with it, who am I, who are you to have a problem with it? That's my only thing with this.
Well,
now,
here's the problem.
When you flip the page to Vrabel, he got look like he got a different conversation at home if they were doing something nefarious. Like, I get really hesitant when there's still photos and not videos because you can kind of edit and create a narrative for a still photo. Like if this person looked like they were like ducked off in the mountain somewhere, like had been posted out. Like, why didn't they do a video? Because like this could be anything. This could be like, hey, let me show you a trick. This could be like,
what is
hey,
that, Shaun? What is that?
that
What's
could
the
be
hot
like-
tub? What is that?
That could be her saying, hey, listen, y'all really gonna go in the next season with Will Campbell? Like after what we saw in the Super Bowl?
Hold for Vrabel's in. You think Vrabel wants to talk about Will Campbell when there's a woman, suntan woman with big cans, big fake cans, nice legs, and clearly an enthusiasm level for extracurricular activities that she cannot contain? I just don't think he's talking about Will Campbell there.
Not likely, but possible. And because we don't have audio, because we don't have video, we've got to stop being so condemning in these situations and give both parties who are consenting adults the opportunity to express their side of the story. And until I hear Mike Vrabel's wife have something negative to say, or Dianna Russini's husband have something negative to say, I don't have nothing to say negative.
Okay, let me stop you and tell you why people in the media may have something negative to say. Because there are male reporters who won't say, well, I can't jump in the hot tub with Mike Vrabel. Me and Mike Vrabel aren't going to be holding hands at some secluded resort for couples. I'm not going to offer up anything sexually titillating for Mike Vrabel. And so I'm competing with somebody who's willing to go to lengths that are not available to me, have no interest in me, would violate my ethics. And so, and now when you tack on the female reporters that would prefer to be loyal to their husbands, loyal to their boyfriend, loyal to whatever they got going on, they're competing with Dianna Russini. And for those of us that have been in the media for a long time, I'm going to say something true here that will not be politically correct. But and again, Dianna Russini to me is an attractive woman. But Dianna Russini does not have the classic attractive woman face. And there is a pattern. If you've been around sports media and this whole invasion of women into the sports media space, that it's actually the women that don't meet the classic standards of beauty who actually tend to put more on the table for sources quicker than the classically beautiful ones. And so this is unfair to the women and men who are competing against Dianna Russini and Joy Taylor. And so take if you follow the narrative at Fox Sports as it relates to Joy Taylor, because she was willing to offer up things to Charlie Dixon, he made promises to her about what was going to happen to her and to others to create opportunities for her. Marcellus Wiley is someone that believes that interfered with his career track. That's why he was pushed out to make room for Joy Taylor to be partnered with Emmanuel Acho. Someone like me, I could sit there and say, well, damn, Joy Taylor's just been laying in the cut. And so when I put the actual work in and me and Marcellus elevated Speak for Yourself into a real thing that was growing in momentum, and I'm sitting there, well, why did Fox Sports switch up on me? Why didn't I get the kind of support and the kind of contract offer after having all this success that was warranted? And you sit there and go, oh, was it because there were promises made to Joy Taylor and that prevented them from going all in on me? That's why some of us have a complaint.
I mean, Jason, appearance matters in television.
For
right?
women, without question.
For men too. Like me and you are fat. If we stopped eating so much and worked out more and got in shape and had more of a look, then maybe we get some opportunities, right, wrong, or indifferent. On the female side, power is attractive. And 99.9% of the women that are in the sports space are gorgeous to someone. Like you were talking about Dianna Russini and the opinion you had that was politically correct. Like every woman that you see on TV in sports is gorgeous to someone. Now it comes down to personality, energy, and it seems like she's off the charts with both of those. You've got to have a little bit of all of that to navigate that space. And so I'm not going to look down on the women that have been able to do it. I have a problem with the fact that there are women on the NBA Countdown show, but no men on the WNBA pregame broadcast. Like, so I look at things from the prism of it should be what's good for the goose is good for the gander. To your point about the inner workings of what was going on in Fox, consenting adults again. Because you know what you're doing. If it ends up burning the entire house down, which is what it did at Fox, that's the risk a lot of people are taking. If there's collateral damage, what happens to be you and Marcellus, who had a great show, who were put in a position where there were some other things going on, it looks like, that kind of got y'all removed. Hey, man, cry me a river. Like, that's life. It goes in your favor sometimes. It goes against you at others. Like, I just try not to be a hypocrite in that Dianna Russini is no different from every other woman in that space. And I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt that there was no relationship going on with Mike Vrabel. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt.
There's way too much evidence. Shaun, the Washington Commanders, the general manager's wife in 2015, went on social media and said, hey, this woman's getting her scoops from banging my husband. The woman said that there's been a lot of smoke. Excuse me?
Allegedly.
Well, you think you're more of an authority than Scott McCloughan's wife?
Not at all.
And again, I'm not taking her word as gospel, but when you put all these other pieces around it together, we got a pretty compelling case that Dianna Russini offers herself up, and she would not be the first or the last. I actually think that, and I apologize to you women that this doesn't apply to. I sincerely apologize. But 70 to 80% of the women in the sports media space, in order to compete, they put it on the table. And I'm sorry for offending those of you in the 20% or those of you that are in, some percentage where no one thinks that of you. And I'm saying, yeah, you probably should. And the reason I say that, Shaun, is because let's say tennis, women's tennis in particular, was as powerful and as interesting and as popular as the NFL. And let's say that the women in women's tennis were that men got to go into the locker room and see them naked, half naked, in interview situations half the time. I'm just sorry. I'm going to flirt. I'm going to take my shot. And if the women had a propensity to be interested in sports writers or whatever, it's going to be the same chaotic mess. And so I don't think these women are doing anything that men wouldn't do if put in the same position. I told a story yesterday or the day before, Shaun. I can remember going down to Miami when my friend and former college teammate Bernie Parmalee was their starting running back at the Dolphins. And Brian Cox was a star player. And Brian Cox, I'm 90% sure it was Brian Cox. Brian Cox we're in the locker room, we're doing interviews. Brian Cox is naked, puts a towel around himself, sits in a chair in front of his locker, and this attractive local TV reporter came and kneeled down right between his legs and started interviewing him. And I just looked, I was like, man, this is a wild world we living in. And I'm not trying to be rude and crude here, but I could rattle off the names of a bunch of women's tennis players. And if I thought I could go into the locker room and kneel down between their legs while they were naked with nothing but a towel around them, you wouldn't even have to pay me.
We're saying two different things. You're talking about the culture and I'm talking about shout out to Dianna Russini. Keep being you, girl. Your personality, your energy, your husband married it. He don't seem to have a problem with it. Keep being you. Don't let these haters deter you from doing your job. Mike Vrabel said there was nothing going on. Mike Vrabel never lied to the public up to this point. I'm going with what the man said. I'm not going to put something on you that I cannot confirm. Because once you put it on them, you know, you're not going to walk it back. So we got to be
I got no problem
slow.
with walking back. I have no problem with admitting when I'm wrong. But I think it takes an extreme amount of naivety to think nothing is going on here.
They insider information. How else do you get it?
According to Dianna Russini, you get inside her, and that's how you get the information.
That ain't
You're right.
Don't. Hey, listen. I'm gonna put a disclaimer on this. Jason Whitlock is in character right now. He did not mean what he just said. He just because you can't confirm that. The optics you can say look like it, but there is no truth that you can factually confirm regarding this woman. You can't.
Shaun, were you on the OJ jury?
Man, OJ no way older. See, don't put me in your age group. I'm younger than you, dog.
that was more of a joke. Let me go back to your original answer.
I was in Pampers when OJ was playing, dog.
94 and 95 when OJ was playing around Rockingham or Buckingham, whatever this. Anyway, let me don't get distracted. I want to go back to your original answer because I think a lot of people are shocked at how quickly, with that decision to be made, how quickly you went to Dianna Russini over Joy Taylor. Could you elaborate and clarify why Russini over Joy Taylor? Please explain.
Well, I don't know Dianna or Joy personally, so this is an observation from afar. Diana's authenticity seems more consistent than Joy.
Clarify.
I think and listen, Joy Taylor, if I'm misspeaking, I'm just giving you my observation from afar. I'm not worried about your response or even if you care about what I'm about to say, but I'm just giving you what it looks like from afar. She portrayed herself more as a good girl, and it ended up being the opposite.
Joy Taylor portrayed herself? No, that's not true.
Early Joy Taylor, when I first was exposed to her, I think she was on what's the name show down in Miami?
Lebatard.
Dan, shout out to Dan Lebatard, by the way. It seemed more like in the mix, in the in crowd, but like kind of above the fray presentation to me at least. Like I would have never put that jacket on her back then. That ended up being identified at Fox. Like I'm telling you my observations from afar. I've never met either lady.
I'm not going to attach a name, and don't you try to attach a name with this. But you should consult with, a former teammate or two of yours from Tampa to get some clarity on who Joy Taylor's been from the outset.
But see, I'm not talking about who they are in reality.
Got it. I'm
talking about what they projected publicly. Like when you see those clips of Dianna, that's the homegirl that you got around all the time that everybody think you sleeping with, but you really not. She just fun to be around. She gonna be the life of the party. Everybody gonna have a good time. That's how Dianna comes off to me.
I've never been around a woman that talks that way publicly, that I've been around who wasn't that way privately.
I have. Like that friendly, super, like cool, like you think it's about to go down. Oh, boy, stop.
I want to be called a MILF. That's a declaration. That's a. It's not I want to be called. Is I want to be a MILF.
That's an acronym, right? MILF, right?
Mother, I'd like to.
Like to, but not have.
Again.
Or am.
Again, when you start labeling yourself. Now, look, man, I used to call myself Big Sexy. And so that guaranteed you I was going to overeat and I was trying to have sex
Well, hold on. Let me
often
stop
as
you.
I could.
Let me stop you right there. You
Yeah.
can't give yourself a nickname.
Well, she
Like,
just
you can
gave her.
call
She just said
yourself
she
whatever
wants
you
to be a
want.
MILF.
Right.
That she's telling on herself.
But no, I've never heard anybody call Jason Whitlock Big Sexy.
Yeah, Kansas City. That was my nickname. Magazine articles written about it with Big Sexy. Yeah, that's what I was called.
I get the
in
play
Kansas
on
City.
words.
Excuse me.
I get the play on words.
Big mouth, sexy opinions. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now okay, all right. And I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, like, I've known you a long time. I remember we used to go to Whole Foods when you was going on the juicing thing when Whole Foods had first opened.
That's out in Vegas. Shaun, let's don't go into details because I don't want to embarrass anybody, and I don't want. But like, do you remember the crew I flew in from Kansas City?
Yeah.
That's me, Shaun. That's who I was.
Yeah. The NBA cap met us. The NBA cap met us at dinner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so that's anyway.
I've got to be clear on this. I am cool with Dianna Russini.
I know
because she has not.
You're
changed.
telling on yourself, but yes,
I'm not. No, I'm not talking about cool personally. I'm talking about cool with like her being in Arizona with Vrabel because she just looks like a fun-loving, outgoing female.
Someone he should be married to it, and you should be able to say the same about his wife, and she should be out there with him, not Dianna Russini. Let me, Shaun. Is there anything else that we were supposed to get to that we should? Because
we never get all of the topics that John sends. I don't even know why he sends them.
Well, he sends them just in case I want to get there.
I got time today. You don't want to always cut me short.
I'm not cutting you short. We've been going at this for 30 minutes.
No, we haven't. You had way too many guests on the day I'm supposed to come on. You got to like lead up to like.
I guarantee you, we started you at like 6 or 7 minutes after the hour, and it's 11:37 right now.
I'm a part of the podcast union. You owe me an OT.
I just think it would be a letdown for me to transition to any of these other topics, and so I just kind of want to wrap up. I want to hear from my guys.
Can I say one thing before we go there? I thought the skit you did with the weed smoking alternate ego, keep that up. That gives you a platform to really dig at some people in a way only you can. Keep that up. You need to make that like at least a bi-monthly segment.
Well, here's what's crazy to me is I saw a bunch of people on social media like, I didn't know Whitlock did this. And I'm like, are you kidding? This is me from the root, you go back to my Kansas City radio days. You go back to my Kansas City sports column days. I was writing spoofs like this all the time. Because Uncle Jimmy executed things very, very well. But I wrote all of that. Those are all my ideas and concepts, the things that Uncle Jimmy, and I'm not trying to take, because I'm telling you, the guy was talented and he pulled those things out. I'm not trying to take credit away from him. But those things you saw him do on Speak for Yourself, the things you saw him do on this show, that's all from my head. And,
keep that segment. Good segment.
I don't have Uncle Jimmy, but I still got the ideas. And so,
Hey, let's get to your crew, too, because they've said some things about me on other platforms I really appreciate because they be listening.
Yeah, well, Luke and Justin, get ready here. Luke, what do you think of his choice of Dianna Russini over Joy Taylor?
I'm indifferent. It should be Taylor Rooks over everybody else. Just saying.
He said it should be Taylor Rooks
over everybody else. Yeah. Justin, hold on. I think JB says he's listening and is about to chime in here. Justin, what do you think of Shaun's choice of Dianna Russini over Joy Taylor?
I mean, listen, bro. As a brother, I don't know about that. Joy Taylor is she up there, and that pasty woman, a little over 10.
See, this is where the male mind gets the male existence to become damn near extinct. Like, all y'all are looking at is the physical. Joy Taylor burned Fox down. Like, everybody got fired. All the shows and everything basically from a spark that was started involving her. I will pass and burn, guys, no matter how much fun I have while the plane's in the air.
Is JB here?
Nah, he on the way.
Shout out to Joy Taylor.
Oh, well, I'm trying to delay to get JB's take on this. But
So let me be clear. While we're waiting on here, let me put some context on this, guys. I was not just looking at the physical. I was including like everything that I know, and I don't know either woman personally, but everything I know from public information about the two. Like, Joy seems like that's gonna end up bad for me on some kind of platform. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, you're gonna lose money, lose everything. Could be what was the girl from
Justin,
TLC that burned down Andre Rison's house? Yeah, you
that's fair.
Yeah,
That's
you
fair.
could-
That's
Like,
fair.
Joy is obviously by far physically more attractive than Dianna. That's without question.
But I'll say this: they both hit it in quidditch, though. So that's all I gotta say. I'll leave it at that.
They had to go to like U.S. Special Operations stealth to catch Dianna. All you had was her words prior to somebody hiding in the mountains at a remote Arizona resort.
JB, you care
Man,
to chime in
Diana's
on
way sexier.
Say that again.
Diana's way sexier than Joy.
You crazy.
Joy Taylor got nothing below the belt line. She looks horrific. Stop.
Hey, Whitlock, do I have to be on a 3-box with JB? Because I
Yes.
don't want to be attached or associated to this foolishness that he's spewing over there. Like,
Hey,
what are you
tomorrow,
even
hey,
talking
Shaun.
about?
Hey, Shaun, tomorrow I'm doing blackface. I'm doing.
I've
I'm
inspired
doing
JB.
I'm gonna be Whitlock tomorrow, Shaun. Me and you.
Hey, Whitlock say he
I'm
about
tired.
to.
I'm tired of the BS, Shaun. I'm tired of the BS. I'm tired of this racism. I'm about to do blackface tomorrow for Whitlock.
Hey, JB, Whitlock say he about to turn you into a fire spewing minister, boy, in a second. He's about to convert you to Christianity. Be careful.
I'm already Christian.
Well,
I'm already Christian. What do you mean? We're having church right now.
And just
I got
remember,
some inside information on this whole Russini thing. If you guys want some real information, let me know.
Go ahead, JB. Go ahead.
Because I got somebody that was on the boots on the ground over there.
Well, JB, could we hear the information?
It's going to cost. So, Shaun. Hey, Shaun. So, Vrabel was at ASU Pro Day.
Okay.
And he got a call or a text or whatever. Like, hey, boo, I'm out with the girls. We're hiking in Sedona. You don't drive 2 hours from Arizona State to Sedona to help her walk across rocks.
For your friend? Yeah, you do.
Stop it, Shaun.
You want to make sure they don't
gosh. Go ahead, Whitlock. Go ahead and cook them.
I've been trying to cook him. That's why I'm glad you came in as reinforcements. He's been talking some very naive things.
So
you want to make sure she don't get bit by a rattlesnake.
So a married man,
out there.
a married man and a married woman, they're going to hook up and say, I'm just here for support. I'm just here for your support, girl. That's what you're saying, Shaun?
No, I heard one of Vrabel's homies was up there anyway, and they already had planned to go up there to meet the homie.
So hold on, let me get this right. Which I
And
don't think
it was a coincidence that Dianna and her crew were there.
that's not the case at all. It's a text message. I'm in town. Come see me. It's already been proven, Shaun. It's already a done deal. I already have the proof. It's a done deal. He was at Arizona State Pro Day. Boom. Went over there. So, bottom line, 2 hours. Then he has to go back to Phoenix to get the PJ to go back to New England? No, stop. He's not doing all that. So, number one. Number two, did he know the camera was going to be on him? So, who hired the PI? His wife or her husband? Because you don't interlock fingers, Shaun. You don't interlock hands when you're just homies. Stop the capping. Let's keep it. Let's get the brass tacks here. Stop the capping. You and Smitty, boy, I tell you.
Oh, Smitty is selling this too?
Oh yeah, man. You know what? I'm calling racism. I'm calling ICE. Because here's the thing. If it was a brother Oh my goodness. What would Shaun and Smitty have done? Because you defended a white dude. I'm shocked and alarmed. If it was a brother.
Here's the difference. See, a
If
white
it was Mike Tomlin, Shaun would have been all over this thing. Go ahead.
Nah. See, a white dude will go on a rendezvous and be holding hands and laying out by the pool.
They was.
The brother gonna be in the room. Like, Shawty gonna have the room.
Okay, you want me to give you the rest of the information?
Please. And
So
I
here,
just,
Whitlock.
hey, do me this favor too, JB. I just texted Smitty. Could you reach out to him too to see if he's available? I got to hear if he's defending this crap and on this. My mind would be blown. Smitty's making the argument that nothing was going on between Vrabel and Dianna Russini.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a whole argument.
I'm not making that argument. I'm saying we don't know.
You have okay. All right. Well, all right. Anyway, continue.
Right, so here's the thing. I'll send him the link. See what happens. Here's the thing. I think he had a meeting with Paul Pierce or something. Here's the thing. Let me ask you this: the pictures that are viral right now, the holding the hands, undercarriage. By the way, he's a man. What man does this, Shaun? Unless you are the nurturer. Number one. Number two. Do you know the only view that those pictures are taken from is from a solo singular door from a singular specific room to get two people onto the rooftop that those pictures were taken? That means they had to exit this exact door at the same time. They had to come in at the same time, Shaun, from the same room, from the same door. It's not a coincidence. They were in a room together. Stop capping for them. Bring in Smitty. I hope you bring him in and cook him.
Well, he says he's got 15 minutes, and I'm hoping you send him the link.
I see him. He's already
okay,
in.
perfect. Yeah, there he is.
I hear?
Yeah, you live.
What's going on, fellas?
Is this the Coach AV show? What's going on here?
That's what it feels like. What's going on, Whit?
What's happening? Hold on. JB has said something that I find hard to believe. You don't think Dianna Russini and Mike Vrabel were knocking boots? Is that accurate?
I don't think so. Let me explain why. Let me break it down. First of all, and shout out to Shaun King, my brother. First of all, even if I thought they were, I'm going to defend Mike Vrabel. It's not in my character, my nature to go out here and put him out there like that, number one. But number two, when you look at the tape, they don't know they're on camera with. So what I'm saying is this. Don't you think if they were really fooling around, we would have saw them kissing? It would have been...
No, it's public.
Vrabel would have grabbed her butt. It would have been something a little bit more intimate. They don't know they're being filmed. Why are the only pictures of them sitting in a hot tub or a pool with a lot of space between them, or them embracing in a hug? That hug Vrabel gave her, his hands was on her neck. That's not how I hug my girl.
What about the hands? Interlocked.
I broke that down already, JB. That area, let me stand up real quick. That spot, it has like stone steps on the ground.
Magic stone.
He's barefoot, Whitlock. He's helping her. Vrabel's helping her guide across the steps. The picture makes it look bad. It was a bad look. He just
Whitlock, he drove 2 hours to help her walk across magic rocks that led to the beanstalk man.
I told y'all, it's rattlesnakes and scorpions and coyotes out there.
That's a hell of a friend. I need that friend. I need that friend, man.
This is the Zapruder level, film level breakdown we just got from Darnell. This is the magic bullet. You ever heard of the magic bullet that went this way, that way, and barely? Come on, man.
See, Smitty. Here's what happens. JB and Jason want this to be factual. They want it to be true.
Nah, it's just true. The truth has no emotions. You said that on our show, don't you?
And right, it's just the truth. And the truth is, as Smitty said, there is no intimate caressing and grabbing. There is no kissing.
How do you know?
Because the dude drove all the way out there to take the pictures. He would not post those pictures if they existed.
Shaun, are you really being this micro today on this man's show? So you're telling me that this guy, the investigator, didn't know already they were showing up there? That's what a private investigator's hired for.
So if there would have been anything intimate between the two, he would have pictures of that as well.
Sean, wait till they drop. Wait till those drop.
Sean Darnell, hold on. Just because they know that there's a possibility that pictures could be taken. It could be from another guest at the hotel, anything. So out in public, they kept it as platonic as they could out in this open space where anybody could take a picture of them. And so there was a line they didn't want to cross, but they did enough to let you know that once they got inside of a hotel room where they felt comfortable they couldn't be photographed, that's when, the real stuff that you guys are talking about. But out in public, that's as much as they could do.
Jason,
what?
What's the show you say Stephen A. Smith learns how to act on? What is it called?
General Hospital.
You writing for General Hospital right now. Like, we want y'all to go by the pool and do just enough to make people think y'all intimate, but don't do anything intimate till you get behind. Like, if they thought that there was exposure there and they were doing something they had no business.
They call it caping?
Come on, man.
No, I'm with Sean though. If they're thinking that deeply, as Whitlock just stated, they wouldn't even be in that position in the first place. They wouldn't even be outside or exposed in the first place. In my opinion,
you're full of
they
it.
feel
The
like they
public
got
figures
enough
are now-
cover to do that because they feel.
Hey, Jason, aren't they public figures?
Yes.
So you think they're just walking around doing whatever in a public setting in a pool?
but I feel like you and Whitlock are saying like two things can't be true in this situation. So are they thinking about it or are they not? Because if they're thinking about it, then we're not hugging. I'm not doing anything then. If they're not and they feel like they're safe, well, let's have a good time.
They changed clothes 4 times in 3 pictures. Stop. Come on now. Sean knows too. Sean wants to laugh. Sean knows too. They were butt naked prior to those pictures being checked. Ted, stop playing. Why are you guys caping for them so bad?
Hey, there's a picture that people like to throw up in my face all the time. I'm out in Las Vegas. There's a woman sitting on my lap.
I know.
Her friend is sitting next to me. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Let's drag up this picture.
We've all seen it with live.
Yeah,
I haven't seen this one.
I want to share it with the audience. You've seen it, JB. But anyway, it's people use it to troll me all the time and call me a hypocrite. And what I've had to explain to people is like, and this is the truth, that like the woman sitting on my lap and her friend next to me, I wasn't at the nightclub with them. I was there with 3 or 4 women. No, that ain't it. I was there with 3 or 4 women. And so those 2 women came walking by. We're all drunk. And someone, hey, take a picture with Jason. And people
happened to me last weekend. Yeah.
Take a picture with Jason. So they came over, sat on my lap, and we took the picture. And I've tried to tell them, people, like, hey, man, nothing went on with me and those. Nothing went on with me and those women. I didn't even know them. They were just walking by. That does not mean nothing went on with me and women that night and that weekend. It just means this engagement doesn't say what you think it does. But it does give you an indication of my mindset and what I was in Las Vegas to do and what I thought fun in Las Vegas was. And so I get it that like, oh, yeah, we don't have a smoking gun. We don't have a picture of his tongue down her throat. But the pictures we do have give you an indication of what he and Dianna Russini were there to do. And I want to go back. I want to play the MILF clip for Darnell and Sean. She's told you what she's here to do in this life. Play the clip.
Dianna, what's up? How are you?
What's up, guys? I told your producer that I want to be introduced now. I don't want to be insider. I don't want to be Scoop City podcast host. I just want to be MILF. Just straight up MILF. That's what I'm going for.
What the hell?
Stop there. Stop there. That's a confession, gentlemen. That's a confession.
She loves life. She's fun to be around. That she's the energy in the room. Like, I've got homegirls like that. I'm just telling you.
What does MILF stand for, Sean? Or Darnell, I've asked. Darnell, what does MILF stand for?
Mother, I love to,
Thank you. That's a confession. Any woman that's going on a radio broadcast and joking and saying, hey, don't call me NFL insider, don't call me this, call me MILF. She's confessing. That's her aspiration.
I'm assuming that radio piece was right after she had her baby. So it was a play on, like, she's now a new mother. She's a mother, and that's her way again. It's COE. JB says all the time, content over everything. What can I say right now that's going to, make headlines, that's going to get the people laughing, get the people talking about it? She's been doing this journalist stuff for a long time. We are all in the business with, like, we all have shows, podcasts. We make content and try to think of creative ways of how can I make something simple that I'm saying and say it in a creative way or a funny way that's going to make noise. That's all that was, in my opinion.
Smitty, this your best segment ever.
Appreciate you, Shaun King.
JB, I can't. Darnell is from far east side of Indianapolis.
I'm calling cap. I'm capping. I'm questioning that now.
Ball
don't question me. I'm verified and validated.
This level of naivety. And look, maybe JB and we.
And he's got older, Jason. You haven't even seen him. He's turned. He's almost.
I ain't seen Whitlock in person in like 10 years.
He's damn near 40, Jason.
I know. Look, we may have to have this discussion without them because the one thing that you and I have that Darnell and JB don't, that Darnell and Shaun don't have is we're free. These guys are married. Everything they say can and will be used against them in a dispute with their wife. And so, and they have to lay a foundation of, because trust me, and I know Darnell's wife because she's from the far east side of Indianapolis. Let Darnell get caught holding hands anywhere on this planet in some pictures. And,
that's a different conversation. It's a bad look. It's a bad look. I'm not saying it's not a bad look, but I'm saying two things can be true. It can be a bad look, and it can, and at the same time, doesn't mean that he did anything with Dianna. That's all I'm saying. Well, like, you ain't never just been like, there's moments where I've been at a happy hour or something, and maybe I'm going to give somebody a hug. If somebody was to take a picture at the right time, it could be a bad look. It doesn't mean I was doing something with her.
It looks like they got 3 or 4 bad look pictures. I mean, if they get one, but
well,
like, all in different clothes.
You were from Indy. You went to the greatest high school on earth in Warren Central, the greatest college in Ball State, and you were out here putting salt on Mike Vrabel's name in his game. In the event that he is doing something, I can't believe that you, out of all people, would call him out, Whitlock.
Look, I'm just the other element to me.
That's the one. That's the one right there.
The other element to me is a guy named Jimmy Whitlock. He was my father. He's from the streets. He ran the Masterpiece Lounge on the far east side.
My grandmother knew your father.
There you go. And so I sat in the Masterpiece Lounge. I sat in Jimmy's J Bar J for far too long. When they go to holding hands, it's a wrap.
Look at her hand, though. Look at her hand, though.
That's because she's short.
Oh my God! I can't. The defense of this is unbelievable.
For context on this, Mike Vrabel, when presented with the questioning about this, said there's absolutely nothing there, not even worth talking about.
I know. Not even the other 6 people can't see them either.
Well, they can't retake the photos. Obviously, there was some zooming in.
Because it's a private investigator, Shaun. They didn't care about the other 6 people.
But that, for context, that would matter.
Nah, that's just your word versus my word now. It's court of law.
Right, if you're trying to push a narrative that's false.
Who sent the PI?
Be false.
Okay, let's bring the brass tacks. Who sent the PI, Smitty? Her husband or his wife?
Now, that's a legitimate question.
Darnell, I think your meeting's about to start. If not, we're good. Yeah. But
I do got to bounce off us, but that's a great question, JB. I don't know. But at the end of the day, man,
I don't like you on other people's shows.
There's no evidence that either side did anything, and you're innocent till proven guilty. Whitlock, is good seeing you.
Hey,
Shaun King.
Way to stand up for the brothers, man.
We
cooked our
There's no brothers involved.
The brothers? We're talking about Mike Vrabel and Dianna Russini. What are you talking about, Shaun?
Hey, there's no
way to
brothers
keep your
involved.
marriage sound. That way, when you offer up these same lame excuses, your wife has to go for them because we said it on Whitlock's show.
It's utterly ridiculous. The defense that Shaun King has on this show today. Shaun King, no. So I had a viral video going down. I took down in respect of the young ladies that were on the yacht. And Shaun saw it, and Shaun attacked me personally because he said he wasn't there
Here
to be
goes
around
JB.
them.
JB was having
Hold
a
on.
great show, and now you
Hold
done
on.
gone off into fantasy land.
Hold
Those
on.
girls are upset you took the video down. I saw them.
No.
I remember them. I
trust
think
me,
I saw them
I
at
did.
Sapphires before, but go ahead.
So no, they wanted some followers. I said, all right, you don't want my followers, and they learn quick. So I took it down respectfully. So Shaun was like mad at me because usually he said it was only me, him, and Smitty on the boat.
Nah, Ruben. We get Ruben.
Yeah, we get
I
Ruben.
fly
So
all the way to California,
what's the difference here, Shaun? What's the difference?
That's a little more festive.
See, it's unbelievable. That's BPS to its finest. It's unbelievable that Shaun's caping for this guy.
Hey, Jason, he got a Mexican homie named Ruben. I fly all the way to California, drive 3 hours to get to the boat, and that's the only other person on the boat, me, him, and Ruben. But as soon as I leave,
Man,
he all in Newport.
it's the guy's trip, homie. Jason, they don't get it. When we get older, Jason, it's not all about that.
I don't know what the motivation is. I don't get it. It's other than they're married, we're not, and making this argument. Baby, if you see a picture of me holding someone's hands, it wasn't me.
Yeah, you're right. We have nothing to lose. We can do whatever we want. We're free.
Man, shout out to Dianna Russini. Keep living your life, girl. Don't let these people temper your enthusiasm for life.
Why is every clip bashing her husband? Like, why every clip she's on right now bashing her husband?
Because they can't bash her.
No. She is bashing her husband, is what he's saying.
Yeah, she is bashing him, just like Jada Pinkett, Aisha Curry. Look at all the man bashing, dog, and you get mad at me when I go at women.
But that's the dynamic of their relationship. Obviously, he's comfortable with it.
He's a beta.
It's a simpuation is what he's living in.
And that's unfair, guys, to put labels and derogatory terms on somebody that probably is happy in his situation. Let that man be happy. That's all I'm saying.
He sent a PI to watch his girl.
See, you're allegedly.
Allegedly,
that is allegedly, but there's a better chance of that than what you're talking about. Nothing is going on. I mean, holy cow. All right, JB, thank you for showing up. Thank you so much. JB,
you still high on Fernando Mendoza?
Of course. I'm actually, a tiny bit higher now that I'm
He's
assured
not going to the draft?
that Kirk Cousins has the right mindset going to Las Vegas. Shaun, I'm actually buying into your theory that this is going to be perfect. He's going to model the behavior and the preparation Kirk Cousins is for Fernando Mendoza, and it's going to help elevate Fernando Mendoza. So I'm getting more comfortable with him being taken at number one, given the moves the Raiders
You'll
have
never
made
hear from
and
him again.
Give her the mindset that Kirk Cousins had. JB, I'm going to let you go. That's all I need. I'm going to let you start the rest of your Thursday. Thank you so much, Shaun. I'm going to let you go. Thanks for working overtime.
Hey, fellas.
Darnell Smith, thank you for joining us as well. That's it, and that's all for us today. There's a chance we won't be. I'm sorry to say this. There's a chance we won't have a show tomorrow. So thank you for watching.